What's up, everybody? Card stuff we got to talk about that I've seen on the app the last few days, probably because it's my algorithm. Once you watch one of them, you get more of them. But there's a few creators that I'm not trying to pick on anybody here. So if you feel like I'm calling you out, I'm not trying to. I'm just using examples. So don't get all in my shit and be all pissed off at me. But there's a few different things going around. I saw a video, two guys. I can't remember the creators. I'm sorry. I saw two guys talking about basically people trying to barter on price or work on pricing and shit like that. So this is going to be a little lengthy, but I feel like there's a lot of nuance that people are missing here. And it was funny because there's another video, and I'm going to say the name here, the Synergy Sports. I like the videos. I've watched a lot of his stuff. He gives like a lot of raw degrading. I don't know if he's got like a course he does or something like that, but if someone's wanting to pay for something to learn how to do it, and someone is selling a course that says how to do it, whatever, as long as it's something that's got merit to it and whatever, then to each their own. I've gone through a lot of grading stuff myself where I had to learn and just kind of figure it out. But I watched a lot of videos. I watched, I kind of went through the free school of I don't want to say hard knocks, but the free school of learning how to grade. So this is supposed to be about the discussion of buying and pricing and approaches of methodology and things like that. So Synergy, I'll use his video as an example. He was talking about how people who lowball, like that's their mo, is that they're going to come to you and say, hey, you got $100 on that card, it sold for 50 once, I'll give you 40, kind of thing. Or that's their whole approach. If I think it's all in how you do things, because I know some guys that I'm not trying to speak for them because I haven't asked this question, but based on perception, almost their entire business model is to ask lower than other people have to enough people. It's kind of like the guy you all know that would go ask every girl at the party out in hopes that one would say yes. It's kind of the same thing, but it's a little larger scale. A lot of people in this world, when presented with an offer, they're scared to say no, or they're scared to come back with a counter offer. They will, and they exist in the card world, especially if people are trying to sell cards that they don't want or they're into over their head, or if they're coming to a table and these guys are there, they're going to cut your knees out from under you. Now, there are instances where I will lowball offer someone. Usually, if it's when someone's trying to have a card put in a deal or a trade that I don't necessarily want, I will tell them that. Like, hey, I would give you this for this, but if not, I think you should keep it because someone else would give you more because it's not a player or not a team or not, whatever it is about it. That's just my 2 cents. So this beard needs such a trim. It looks so crazy. I haven't had a chance. I am a parent of 2 kids. Leave me alone. Anyway, I just watched another couple videos. It was Pokemon stuff, but it was two guys coming up to a table on a $50 card offering 20 or 30 or 35. Now, $40 offer on a $50 card is not terrible. I'd probably count it at 45 and get the thing sold and keep it moving. This guy also wanted to buy $200 cards for $140 where the last comp was $212. Will people sell to you under those circumstances? Yes. And that's where I think the asking is always something you should probably do. It's in how you ask. The question I hate the most is, as someone who's doing a lot of card dealing behind tables now, or I leave eBay offers open, so I get a lot of lowball offers where people are just fishing. So that's the same kind of thing. It's just people are doing it in person. If you're throwing an offer on somebody who's got a $200 card on eBay for $80, you are doing the same thing. You're hoping they counter you at 100 or 90 or whatever it is. There's a reason for it. I get it. So that's why I never really try to take offense to this kind of thing. But it's if someone's pressing and trying to tell you, oh, the card's not worth 200, what you're asking, then why are you trying to buy it? Why are you trying to buy it at 140 if it's not worth 200? Because it's clearly worth something close to that range if you were trying to buy it at 70 or 60 or whatever percent to try and sell it at 80 or 90 or repack it or do whatever it is you're trying to do with it. No, again, no judgment. I don't have. Once you buy the card, what you do with it is up to you. I really don't care. But I think that there is a kind of middle ground to be had with this. And that's where I at least try to live so far, because I've seen, and I've done it in some instances when you're starting out, in the hobby or in this business, if you want to call it that, in this world. Sorry, my screen just went dead and I feel like it took away some of my lighting. I feel like you're going to end up, making a couple deals where someone's feathers are going to get rankled a little bit because, you're trying to buy something for less than they're trying to sell it for, or they're trying to give you less money for something you're trying to sell to them, etc. But I think we get lost in the whole, kind of the judgment piece of it. You don't have to like how someone else is doing business necessarily as long as they're not being super disrespectful to the person that they're doing business with. Look, there's the whole idea of getting taken, right? Or someone overpaying or underpaying for a card or whatever the case may be. I can tell you I've accidentally overpaid and underpaid for cards almost equally amount of times by accident because cards are complicated. Comps are complicated. They're called comparisons for a reason. It's not an exact science of this equals that. This card being a red wave, whatever, and then I have a Mace Windu red wave that's not the same guy. It's the same grade and the same card. It's not the same. So for me, I like to kind of, hey, just a heads up. I would give you an offer on this card if you want to hear it. It's probably going to be kind of low. I can give you my methodology and my reason why, or if you just want to hear it and yay or nay, totally fine either way. Or if it's like, hey, I'm holding this thing for full sticker, I get it. It also, you got to have some idea of what you're asking for, the card itself. You got to be able to say, hey, this is a Shohei Ohtani. He just won an MVP in a World Series again. If somebody's got a sticker price on it that's, 50% over comp, sure. But if it's at comp or even a little above it, you can't hate that. I'm still relatively young in this hobby, but there's a lot of people that seem to very much get very angsty about how someone else is doing their cards or buying cards or whatever. And I think if we just kind of like do the whole, I don't necessarily like doing it that's not how I do it, but I don't think that's the wrong way to do it. Because clearly, I know guys that are hugely successful where their business model is, I'll pay you 70%. You want to get rid of something you got in a break by accident, whatever, I'll pay you 70% of comps, the kind of the lower average. And they making a lot of money doing it. And so it's one of those things where, if if you've got a 12-year-old or something, I would educate them on how to look up cards, because I will not personally do deals with anybody under 18 that is, over $50 or anything that's substantial, because you got to get a parent for me or something, or at least close to it, because I don't want anybody coming back to me, yo, you ripped off my kid. Well, here's the thing, okay? If your child is walking around with a ton of graded cards and more cash than I have in my bank account, they should know more than I do, right? Based on those resources, teach them how to utilize the resources that you are giving them or that they have accumulated, my opinion. I've taught more kids how to comp cards than I've been, dad standing right there, got no clue what's going on. Kids walking around with 2 Gs or something and doesn't know how to comp a card. It happens a lot. That's an extreme scenario, but either way. So in summation with this has been a lot of bouncing around, but I guess the thing is, look, if you want to buy a card, make an offer on a card. If you are, trying to resell, be honest about it. You'll find more people, in my opinion, if you go, hey, look, I'm doing a repack. I'm trying to buy it, this, and this. Do you have room on certain things? Is there stuff we can pick out? Try and be a little more upfront about your purpose, and don't just hit people over the head with a lowball offer without any sort of explanation or softener first, if you will. That's where I find, hey, I dig this card. I want to buy it for my whatnot stream. And there's also been times I've bought a card at full sticker to try and start to generate a relationship with somebody who I know has got other stuff that's really good, just to kind of make them feel good. So it's about relationships a lot of the times, and I think people kind of lose that in both the actions they do when buying a card and also in how they receive others' actions. So I don't know. I'm not trying to be critical of anybody, but it's just sort of if you're mad about something working for someone else that you don't want to do, don't do it. Crazy? I don't know. Have a good one, guys. Happy Thanksgiving Day. Wow, happy Thanksgiving. It is also Thursday, so have fun.